So let's move forward. I've been on a deep dive of listening to a lot of your music.
Yeah.
Just when I knew we had you on the show. Again, I was already a fan. I really love my favorite song from you so far is the Chris Brown. You with Chris Brown.
Do I ever?
Do I ever? And what makes that song my favorite is Brian Knight was my favorite singer.
Word, yeah.
So the anytime sample just like took me out of here. I remember when I first said, "Do I ever cross your?" I'm like,
okay. What are you about to do?
Hold on. And I didn't even know it was you yet. I'm like, okay. This boy Tone on another level. So I'm already checking for you.
Yeah.
And when I hear this, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I really like this cat.
Yeah.
I really like this cat. So tell me what getting to that point. I know you had already been putting music out.
Right.
But
that song is crazy because that song was first originally made in, I want to say like early 2017.
Wow.
Had that song for years. Shout out Problem Solver, shout out Laser that I was talking about earlier. All a part of that. But I recorded that song, recorded the whole song. Then 2018, went over to Chris's house one night, I think, to work on Indigo. And at the same time, I think he asked me, like, what was I working on? And it was already a discussion that, like, if I were to put him on a record, it would be that record.
Nice.
So he was like, yo, what you working on? And I was like, yo, I played a few records, and I was like, yo, but this one I want you a part of. He was like, all right, let me hear it. Played it. He was like, bet. So after that night, we worked on the Indigo stuff, went home. The next day, I guess he continued to stay up all night and work on it. Mm-hmm. So the next day, his engineer sent over the version. And was just like, yo, quick. The Chris vocals came in. So we all in the house like, yo, freaking out. And
how'd that feel? Like, you just mentioned Chris Brown, Usher, these guys, being one of your biggest inspirations. So now at this point, you got a connection with him. Yeah. He obviously respects you as a writer, as a musician. And I know you had, we'll get to that right after this.
Yeah.
But I know you had worked with him before, working on some songs. So at this point, now you got his ear. Mm-hmm. You play him this record.
Yeah.
He sends it back in 24 hours.
Yeah, no, it was, for me, it was like, yo, what is happening, bro? Like, okay, God, okay, you working. I see you looking out. But it was a surreal moment because if I backtrack back to high school, I remember telling everybody in high school, like, I'm going to work with Chris Brown one day. I'm going to write some songs for Chris Brown. And everybody was just like, yeah, whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever, bro. Then when it happened, the same people like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, yeah, bro. I remember you rolled your eyes when I was performing at the talent show, but whatever. Yeah. But it was just crazy because it was a full circle moment.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I love that record. So you also had worked with him before.
Yeah.
So we talked, I want to say you triple platinum on, was it?
On Liquor. Yup.
Yeah.
Yup. Triple platinum. Yup.
How's that feel? I don't know what it's like to be no time platinum.
You know what? It's still a crazy, like, feeling for me. It's something that feels new every time because it's like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's like I see the videos too. Where it's like, yo, it's an arena full of people singing Liquor to the top of their lungs. Like they're not missing any words. And I'm like, yo, I made that song in my room at the crib back in Jersey, just like 19.
That's kind of what we talked about, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you sitting in your room, you write the song, and you transfer
the energy.
And now you got millions of people.
And I'm glad he cut that record because at the time, like, people was asking me, like, why don't you keep it? I'm like, nah, it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't, like, I'll play my version. It's like, nah, Chris brought it to life. Like, he did what he had to do.
So as a songwriter, do you ever feel like, I need to hold on to this record? Because you're an artist as well.
Yeah.
But do you sometimes, listening to you sound like you're okay with passing some along.
Listen, the way I look at it is, like, songs are songs.
Yeah.
And I feel like just as much as I could give somebody a song, somebody could give me a song.
That's right.
And I'm not one of those artists that's like, oh, I gotta be involved, if it's a hit and it touches me and it makes sense, I'm cutting it. I don't care. Like it's a dope song, I'm not gonna miss the opportunity. So for me, it's like when I'm in the studio and I'm making music, I go in there and like, okay, got my artist cap on. Mm-hmm. So we're in here for me. And lately the approach has been like, what's going on with you? What's the things you want to talk about? What's things that's going on in your life right now that you want to get out to your fans? And what's that message? So that's how I'm like, okay, those songs are for me.
Absolutely.
But, making music, I'm just like, hey, I might make some one night and be like, I'm gonna send this and see. I'm gonna put it out in the air and just see what happens.
Can we talk?